A man buys his absolute dream house. He finally has the space, the view, and the status he worked decades for. Yet, standing in the middle of it all, he feels a surprising, heavy numbness. This experience is common among those we consider the most successful. A celebrity may stand in front of thousands of cheering fans, only to go home feeling entirely disconnected. It leads to a specific, unsettling question. If I have everything I wanted, why do I feel so empty? This suggests that the standard pursuit of success might function as a psychological detour, one that promises a specific emotional destination, but frequently leads somewhere else entirely. We are often raised on a silent equation. It suggests that if you add enough sacrifice to your success, happiness will eventually follow. Notice how that happiness variable is locked behind a time delay. It is always positioned in the future. This isn't a vague concept, it is a specific trade. People pour their sleep, their peace of mind, and their personal relationships into the pursuit of a milestone. They do this under the impression that the final achievement will make the loss of these things worth it. Media and social rewards reinforce this habit. We learn to live one achievement away from feeling complete, treating our current lives as something to be endured rather than experienced. When the brain focuses exclusively on an imagined future, it loses the ability to find satisfaction in the present. The programming works so well that even when we win, we have forgotten how to actually feel the victory. Then the milestone is reached. The promotion happens. The bank account hits the number. But the expected surge of permanent joy is often replaced by a jarring, empty sense of what's next. This graph illustrates hedonic adaptation. Our brains normalize improvements. Excitement spikes at achievement, then drops to baseline. To maintain the high, the mind targets new goals, creating a sawtooth pattern, an endless cycle of chasing spikes without permanent satisfaction. This mechanism fuels arrival happiness, the belief that an external finish line alters an internal state. We treat our achievements as if they can resolve psychological needs. But humans are biological systems that require constant maintenance, not machines that stay fixed once a goal is checked off. External success provides a short-term biological reward. However, it cannot sustain long-term fulfillment because the brain is designed to keep moving. Without a deeper anchor, the chase becomes a treadmill with no exit. Many people discover they have been pursuing goals designed to impress others rather than to satisfy their own needs. This pursuit of validation is addictive, but it rarely reaches a point of completion. Social media intensifies this by providing a 24-hour feed of comparison. No matter the achievement, there is always someone with more visibility or more wealth. The finish line is constantly moving because it is tied to the performance of strangers. There is an evolutionary cost to this focus. Our nervous systems evolved in tribal settings where connection was essential for survival. Today, many trade those tribal connections for a position at the top of a towering hierarchy, only to find the view is incredibly isolating. We often confuse pleasure with fulfillment. Pleasure, like praise, luxury, or status, is a temporary external stimulus. Fulfillment is a deeper internal state built on connection and a sense of purpose. When we sacrifice our biological needs for relationship and community in favor of external pleasure, we experience emotional starvation. A person can have absolutely every single outward marker of success and yet still feel completely, totally malnourished inside. Maintaining a socially approved image requires an immense amount of energy. If that image doesn't match the internal reality, the result is a successful life that belongs to a persona, while the actual person remains unseen. The most difficult moment often arrives after a multi-year goal is finally achieved. When the driving force of the chase disappears, it leaves behind an unexpected void. Ambition acts as a structural framework for our identity, providing daily direction. But when the goal is met, that scaffolding dissolves. The core of who you are is left unsupported, and you may no longer recognize the person you've become. This crash isn't a sign of failure. It is evidence that the human brain requires more than just a list of accomplishments to maintain a coherent sense of self. It needs meaning that exists independently of the chase. To resolve this crisis, we must look at what remains when external markers are stripped away. Long-term psychological stability is found in foundations that aren't tied to a trophy or a title. These include elements like meaningful relationships, prioritizing physical health, and ongoing personal growth. These are not milestones to be reached, but ongoing practices. Unlike a career goal, they cannot be finished, providing a more stable sense of purpose. Take a moment to look at the ladder you are climbing. Consider why you are sacrificing your current peace for a version of success that might not be capable of holding your weight. Fulfillment is not a prize waiting at the top of a climb. It is the quality of the connection and purpose you maintain while your feet are firmly on the ground. The most successful life is one that feels